Road surface, though, was much colder, and that's why the ice formed and caught some people off guard. Right now, we're live in western Massachusetts. This is just outside of Boston, and look at this scene here. This is a trash truck that came down Church Street, first with Weather Warrior. The wind has taken on a little bit more of an easterly component, so the temperature is actually close to freezing. So right now, we have those big wet snowflakes coming down, but the intensity certainly is picking up. Now, I also want to show you Storm Ranger. Of course, we've been broadcasting from Storm Ranger all morning long. Let's bring you inside the truck now, and you can see the real-time display of what's happening. Just got a report in from Hull DPW. They just sent me a note saying that Atlantic Ave in Hull is now closed. So again, the street view showing you where Atlantic Ave is. This is the Gun Rock section of town. Tonight, you want to set a backup alarm, maybe your phone, charge your phone, have the NBC Boston app in case you lose power. You'll still be able to watch us. 98% of it without power, and this is why. We have trees like this one resting on a home. This is Olympic Lane. Look at this huge tree that came crashing into the garage. From the Everglades right down the entirety of the Florida Keys, a very serious situation. But even as far north as Fort Myers and over towards Fort Lauderdale, we'll have hurricane force wind gusts. The reds, the yellows, just continuing to blast Houston. All the while, tornado watch remains in effect. We've had tornadoes in the Houston area. When we said there was breaking news, I thought we were going to address the other elephant in the room that we were just made aware of on Twitter.
What's that?
I am. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to our friend Susan.
She had no choice as to whether or not we were going to announce that, by the way, once this information became available.
I know.
Thanks for her husband.
The bags are under my eyes. It's taking longer to recover at my old age, my elderly days. But I feel great.
Well,
and I'm with you guys on my birthday, so what could be better?
Well, and I'm glad I have something
cake,
nice
perhaps.
in the 10-day forecast. That too.
Yeah, really, if we had known.
To scurry out during the Today Show. But anyway, we do have sunshine on the 10-day, so I can say, delay the birthday celebration a little bit, and you'll at least have some relative warmth. We have a little snow coming through this morning. In fact, 2 inches of it in parts of Maine, but once the snow got down here to the Boston area, it's really just like a coating on some of the grass and the cars. That's about it. A half-inch Wilmington, Lexington, even less than that in Braintree, and Boston and Newton just like a little trace, meaning you see it in the air and you see a couple flakes sticking here or there, but nothing that significant. There it is on radar right now. It's really falling apart even as compared to just a couple hours ago. And from here on out, we will continue to have those rain and snow showers, but the focus will continue to be for the South Shore, interior southeastern Massachusetts, because we'll have that northeasterly wind picking up, grabbing the Atlantic moisture and blowing it right over land. So it's almost ocean effect rain and snow shower activity, but with temperatures above freezing for the most part. Really just more of a nuisance than anything else. And this isn't a big storm. You see the big picture here. The storminess being suppressed down to our south, courtesy of the fact that this cool air is moving out of Canada. So yes, it's cool this weekend, but it's keeping a bigger storm at bay. So here's the hour-by-hour timeline. You see temperatures hold more or less close to where they are now, in the 30s to around 40 degrees if we're lucky. The occasional rain or snow shower dropping in, mostly cloudy skies, but very late day, more sunshine develops, and that will continue to work in overnight as the clearing trend continues through tonight. 20s and 30s overnight with the northeasterly winds still gustiest. Boston points south and east, and that direction is key to the forecast tomorrow because we all have sunshine, and this time of year the sun is strong enough to warm us up even in a chilly air mass like we have. But the northeasterly wind will bring in that oceanic air again, keeping the coastline from Portsmouth and Rye right back to Durham, and then straight onto the North Shore, the Boston area, South Shore. You'll be in the 30s to around 40 degrees tomorrow, but through the interior, where you don't have that oceanic component, we'll pop into the mid-40s, somewhere like Fitchburg, somewhere like Shirley, for example, also checking in the 40s, and even close to 50 degrees in parts of western Massachusetts and Connecticut as well. So being away from the ocean tomorrow is your friend. This is a typical springtime forecast in New England. On Tuesday, initially a northeasterly wind still, but then we eventually turn to more of a southerly wind, and that, combined with more sunshine, will allow more and more of us to cook well into the 40s and even close to 50 degrees. So the wind over the next couple of days, courtesy of high pressure to the north and that storm to the south, we're sandwiched right in between. That's why we get the wind, but it's quiet through Tuesday. Warm front comes in on Wednesday. That will kick our temperatures up, but it also comes through with a couple of spotty rain showers. We get a break on Thursday, and the wind briefly goes to the west. That's a mild direction for us. So even though it's mostly cloudy on Thursday, where we do break out the sunshine, that's our chance to get close to 60 degrees in a couple of communities where the sun pops out. Another opportunity for some rain coming in on Friday, but we're still expecting temperatures in the 50s.
Yeah.
All comes down to speed.
Yeah.
You just have to go slowly. If you're going slowly, it's much easier to control a slide or something like that.
Absolutely.
So just don't try to get in a hurry to get the Christmas shopping done. You need to be at Christmas for the shopping to be relevant.
What? Who still needs to shop?
Yeah, I know. Malls could be a little crowded today.
Definitely busy. There's one place around our area that's just fine. No wintry weather, and that is Cape Cod and the islands.
All right.
So let's go briefly to Nantucket. If you're sick of the ice talk, we'll go there. And it's not exactly a beautiful day. It is still very gray on Nantucket, to be sure, but the temperature here is 45 degrees. The wind is out of the east-southeast, so that's enough for just plain rain. Through the interior, though, it's a northerly wind. That cold air continues to drain in out of Canada, into southern New Hampshire, into the Boston area, much of the North Shore, the Merrimack Valley, and even interior southeastern Massachusetts right now. Let's take you in a little bit closer to Boston, firmly in the freezing rain right now. Take the freezing rain and bring it right up Route 1, 128 as well, but once you hit Rockport, really Manchester by the Sea, towards Gloucester as well, all of these areas warm enough for plain rain, enough of a maritime influence. Also on the South Shore, parts of Cohasset and Scituate are raining, while we have the freezing rain from Hull to Hingham, Weymouth, and back through Quincy. And then certainly west of the city, we still have the freezing rain now, and we still will for several more hours. This is the map by 11, and basically the line is not going to budge. If you have freezing rain now, you should expect to have it through about 11. The only exception may be some very minor improvement south of Boston. Sure, it still looks like 95 will be involved in this, but Bridgewater, you might start to get out of it by then. Still watching north and west for prolonged icing late this morning into the afternoon, even around 2 o'clock, finding some isolated areas of freezing rain in central Massachusetts, New Hampshire as well, but more and more of us slowly warming up. Temperatures near 50 for the Cape. It turns windy there, but we won't make it that warm in Boston. It's more like close to 40 if we're lucky, and just basically clawing above freezing in central Massachusetts through southern New Hampshire, just enough to stop the icing. Meanwhile, the wet weather will continue off and on into this evening, and then it all blows out of here tonight, and we will clear out with low temperatures in the 20s and 30s by tomorrow morning. Patriots game tomorrow looks good. Mixture of sun and clouds. It's dry. It's pleasant. Great day for shopping. Great day for travel. No issues. I point that out because we have another storm that will move in on Christmas. So here's Christmas Eve. No trouble. If you have evening plans, celebrations through midnight, we are dry. It's after midnight where the snow spreads in. Rain-snow line very near Boston. So at the coastline from Cape Ann to the South Shore and Cape Cod, we likely start as rain at 6 o'clock. Snowing, though, north and west of the city. Same deal into about 10, and by now the storm's a little bit stronger. So see some of these deep blues from anywhere like Lexington, Concord, Bedford, back towards Littleton, and certainly western sections of Massachusetts and central Mass too, right into southern New Hampshire. We get into a period of some heavier snow mid to late morning through about lunchtime. Still raining at the coastline, but cold air rushes in on the backside. So even where we start as rain, we likely end as some snow as the storm winds down early in the day, early in the afternoon, I should say, on Christmas. The afternoon is better than the morning as the storm continues to dump snow in Maine right through the end of the day. So here's what we're looking at in terms of snowfall, just adjusting to an inch south and east of town as we see it right now. Boston back through the Blackstone Valley about 1 to 3, and we'll take that and run it right up to Cape Ann too, but more like 3 to 6 for most of Worcester County, north of there into sections of Middlesex County and the Merrimack Valley, and right along the Mass-New Hampshire border points north, 6 to 9 inches for most of the Granite State, and there's your foot plus in parts of Maine. So farther north you go, the more snow you get. But afternoon improves as the storm pulls away, and then we just open the floodgates to all sorts of cold for next week. Teens and 20s for highs. Temperatures in the morning on either side of 0, and we'll take the cold and bring it right into first night as well. So that cold weather not going anywhere into the holiday.